Hey, morning, everybody. It is Thriving Thursday. I'm Dr. Janine Ridgway of Better Health Solutions. So, what if I told you that your body actually steals from your hormones to survive stress? That's what we're going to be talking about today. But just because I'm over here on YouTube doesn't mean I'm going to do anything different. So, I am going to start off with our personal development, like I love to do. I'm going to be reading from Blessed and Unstoppable by Billy Alsbrooks. And when I opened this up to see what day 30 was talking about, I said, wow, this is exactly where I wanted and needed to be today. So today talks about become a prayer warrior. And the verse is Job 42:10. And the Lord restored the fortunes of Job when he had prayed for his friends, and the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. The greatest gift you can give to the world is prayer. Interceding for others releases heaven's blessings on both you and the person you are praying for. The more you pray, the more you allow the Holy Spirit to intervene in your life and the lives of those around you. Prayer is not the same thing as wishing or hoping for something to happen. It's knowing fully in your heart that it will happen. The power of intercession is only equivalent to the belief behind it. Prayer is not a standalone principle. It must be applied in tandem with the principle of faith in order to be truly effective. Today, I just want to remind us to pray for each other, to pray for all the people that were affected by this horrific hurricane, to pray for the people that are being affected by this government shutdown. Just any and everybody that you know that is in need, pray for them. Okay. So I'll put that aside. Okay, so today's topic, this is one of the ones that I talk about it regularly, but today is going to be a little bit different because I've got some graphics and, I've got this new exciting system, so I'll be able to share a little bit more richly with you. But I really want to talk about stress and how it affects your body. And there's something called the pregnenolone steal. Have you ever heard of that? This was so fascinating to me when I first learned about it. And it really explains so many things. So I'm going to pull up a graphic and just show you what I'm talking about here. And this is the hormone cascade, okay? So within your adrenal glands, I talk about the adrenals all the time, and I love to talk about the adrenals. This is kind of the hormone cascade that takes place. We have cholesterol, which is necessary to make all of our hormones. Um, some people are put on statins and they're told that their cholesterol needs to be super low. However, this can have some major health side effects because cholesterol is important. It's the backbone of all your hormones, as you can see in this picture here. So you see cholesterol being the backbone, and then right underneath cholesterol we get pregnenolone, and that's what we're talking about. So we're talking about something called the pregnenolone steal. Pregnenolone is basically like a mother hormone, so it's going to go down all of these pathways, okay? And it's the raw material that your body uses to make cortisol, your stress hormone, DHEA, progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone. And I know you've heard of several of those, and I know that you just won't feel very good unless they're in balance. And so we need to make sure our body is not stealing this pregnenolone to turn it into stress hormones. Otherwise, all the other ones suffer. So under normal circumstances, the body kind of divides its energy. It knows what to do. It knows how much of each one you need. However, when we push the body with our constant stress, when we push the body with our constant stress, our body starts to steal that and send it down other pathways. So as you can see in this picture, we have pregnenolone, and if you go to one side, it turns into DHEA, and then that DHEA goes on and it turns into your testosterone and the different types of estrogen in your body. And when you look down the other way, pregnenolone turns straight into progesterone, which is really important for the female hormone balance. But then you see this pathway where we can actually take that pregnenolone and send it down another pathway into cortisol. Okay, if that's happening excessively because our bodies are constantly under stress, this is what's called the pregnenolone steal, because it's going to go down that pathway into the stress hormone, and those other pathways are going to be deficient. Okay, and so this is why when we are under that chronic stress and we get into this sympathetic dominance and adrenal fatigue, we just can't get any of the other hormones balanced. So today I want to talk to you about that. I want to give you some of my top lifestyle hacks, supplement hacks, just ways that you can right now start to make this better, because it's going to affect you in so many different ways. Over time, this can lead to hormonal imbalances, which can be anything. It can be the way you feel, it can be your energy, it can be your moods, it can be your ability to sleep properly, it can be your ability to lose weight. So many people are struggling with weight loss because their bodies are overstressed and they're overproducing this cortisol, which is, as we know, what do we call that cortisol? The belly fat hormone. It is a big, huge deal, okay? Mood swings, anxiety. It can start to inhibit your thyroid function, blood sugar regulation. This is a big one. You know what? Blood sugar regulation, I got to see this firsthand. And so one of the things that I want to urge you to do is to make sure you know what your blood sugar is. I always test for markers of blood sugar regulation, glucose, hemoglobin A1C, fasting insulin, things like that, so that you know what your body is doing. So I'm going to give you an example. This right here, this is my little Lingo, and Lingo is a continuous glucose monitor. You've seen me put these on before if you've watched me for any length of time, but it looks like this. It goes on your arm. I usually put it right back here, and it tests your blood glucose continuously so that you can see what's having a major effect on you. Now, the reason why we wear this is over the counter. You don't have to be diabetic. A lot of biohackers will wear these. And the reason why we wear them is because we want to know how we can optimize our health in terms of our diet and our lifestyle and what's having negative effects on us. I wore this because I wanted to be able to optimize my insulin levels, overcome some age-related insulin resistance as I went through those, perimenopausal years. And it gave me such amazing actionable data. But while I was wearing this one time, I happened to be on vacation and I got to see firsthand how cortisol affects your blood sugar. I had gotten up one morning. I was actually fasted. I wasn't going to eat until lunch that day. So I oftentimes will do an intermittent fast. Sometimes I'll do longer fasts, but I wasn't going to eat until later on that day. And so I was on a trip and I ended up going out on a speedboat. Now, I hadn't had anything to eat. So typically, when I wake up and don't eat, my blood sugar is really stable. It's running like just a flat line. It's really stable, no ups, no downs. It's just good, right? So I'm out on this speedboat, and then all of a sudden there's this major spike. And that spike, not only did it go up, but it went up and stayed there. It was just hanging. On Lingo, they give you what's called Lingo counts, so you can see how bad a meal was to your regulation, how easy it was for your body to bring that back down. Man, that cortisol, that stress hormone from being on that speedboat and holding on like this for dear life, spiked my blood sugar and kept it there. Now, what does that mean? When your blood sugar and your insulin are high, you cannot burn fat. So I was able to see that stress really does impact. I read it all the time in textbooks. I'm telling you now, but I'm telling you that I was able to see firsthand that effect, and it was powerful. So we want to make sure we've got that in check. Okay, so where are we going with this? I want to give you some of my hacks specifically with lifestyle, because I know that a lot of people are struggling right now. I use supplements. I use whole food supplements every single day, and I've got some really good ones that help your body deal with stress, help your nervous system to relax, help to get you into those deep restorative levels of sleep. And I'll give you those at the end. But what I want to start with now is something that everybody can do right now without spending a dime, because I know it's hard out here in these streets, right? So, my number one hack, before we get too far, I'm going to give you number one first. I call it restoration posture. So let me show you what that looks like if everything goes well. All right. So, and here comes the dog. I have a new dog, so I'm actually not resting very well right now. But it's all good. We needed that plug to the hole that was left in our hearts when we lost our Gino. Okay. So, practice prayer, deep breathing, grounding, and stillness. Okay. All of these things are so beneficial for your nervous system. We have something that works in the background called the autonomic nervous system. There's two branches of it. We have the sympathetic, which is the fight or flight, the get up and go, the stress handling. This is driven by the adrenal glands, which is why our adrenals get so tired. And then we have the parasympathetic, the rest, the recuperation, the digestion, the reproduction, the balance. We need to have a good balance of both, and our body needs to be able to switch back and forth. What happens in our modern society is we get stuck on go, we get stuck in sympathetic. This is a major cause of adrenal fatigue, this hormone imbalance that I'm talking about, this pregnenolone steal, inflammation, and the body's ability to heal and relax. So, one of the things that we can do, it is very, very powerful. I call it restoration posture, and it looks like this. This is where you lay down on your back. You put your feet up at a 90-degree angle on a chair or on an ottoman, just like this. You see the young lady in the picture. And you just lay there. You relax. You be still. You be quiet. You turn off the TV. You turn off the radio. Stop the distractions, stop the all interactions. You just want some quiet, still time. I promise you, those of you who have tried this know that this is a game changer. Basically, physiologically, it takes your body out of sympathetic because of the posture, because of where the muscles and the nerves are going. It takes your body out of sympathetic, puts you into parasympathetic, focuses all that nerve energy on your core, and allows you to flip a switch and be still. It is a game changer. Now, the key is to not have any distractions, not have any interruptions, and to do this for 15 or 20 minutes. If you do this every single day, it reteaches your body how to relax, and it's powerful. Okay, so this is restoration posture. I give this to all of my patients. They just can really feel the difference. Swear by it. It's a game changer, and it's free. Everybody has someplace to lay down. Now, if you don't have a chair to get in this proper position, that's okay. Back your butt up to the wall and put your legs up the wall or the headboard. If you have a hard time getting down on the floor, lay on your bed, turn around, put your feet up your headboard. You just want to get your feet higher and you want to stay in that position, okay? Now, I'm going to give one exception. The one exception, I don't want you to have any kind of simulation, but the one exception is if you have some sound therapy, which I also do in my practice, you can listen to your sound therapy while you're laying down. All right, so that's one thing. Now, you saw on the screen prior that it listed prayer. We just talked about prayer. Prayer changes things. Prayer recenters you and calms your body down too. Deep breathing. And then grounding. I am literally grounding right now. I have a grounding mat underneath my feet. I'm barefoot underneath my desk. Grounding is simply going outside barefoot. Now, I understand it's starting to get cold. So, in my resources on my link tree, there's a company called earthing.com. I have a link there. They always have some special going on. When you use that link, you'll usually find some special. You'll get something free, or you'll get like either an add-on item. They always have something going on. I actually keep ordering because I keep wanting all of the things that are coming out. So I've got this universal mat that's underneath my desk, which keeps me grounded indoors. I have a sleep mat that's on my bed that keeps me grounded at night. I have a strap that goes around my ankle or wrist that I wear when I'm traveling to keep me grounded at night. I have the sneakers. I have the flip flops. I'm very serious about this grounding because it's a game changer. It takes that stress and that inflammation out of your body. If you have pain, if you have stress, if you have inflammation, try grounding. Now, you don't have to be barefoot. I know it's getting cold, but even when it's warm, some people are like, I am not getting ready to go barefoot outside. It's okay. You can wear socks. You can get on a picnic blanket. You just don't want to have anything rubber between you and the earth. Our shoes with the rubber soles, they stop the grounding. Back in the day when people walked with moccasins and leather soled, slippers, they were grounded. They were grounded. And so you can do that, or you can get some of the shoes. The shoes have a special conductive strip that pulls those electrons from the earth, and that's how they work. So anyway, that is powerful. Relaxation, rest, sympathetic down regulation. I love that term. Basically, it means sometimes you got to turn everything off. Get away from the gadgets, get away from the phone, get away from the TV. Sometimes even the music can be disruptive if it's not the right kind of music. Um, Sleep is very important. Good quality sleep. This is my number one sleep hack, and it's so easy, so easy. This is a sleep mask. This is one of the things that I think is very, very powerful because it literally blocks out all of the light and allows your natural melatonin to kick in and allows you to get into a deeper sleep. I wear a Whoop strap, and when I wear this, matter of fact, on the Whoop, there's a journal where you can keep track of your habits so that you see what affects you more so than others. This is actually one of the line items. That's how much of a difference it can make. And so for some of you, your environment might not be conducive to sleep. So you might need some head plugs, earplugs. That's the word I'm looking for, earplugs. So this is earplugs with a sleep mask. I mean, this actually stays in my travel bag. I use this, even though you have those blackout curtains in hotels. They always have me in LED lights, the smoke detector, the clock. Sometimes there's a little night light. And rather than try to cover everything up around the room, I just use a sleep mask. I use it at home too. I love it. Now, we talked about prayer. I just want to back up for a second. This is a book. I just recently met this young lady, and she's just amazing. She apparently has I'm not on TikTok, but she has a very popular TikTok channel. Her name is Christina Baker. She is on IG as well. Um, but this is her book. It's called Hope in 60 Seconds, Encountering the God of the Impossible. And this is a wonderful book to just say some quick little prayers before you go to bed. Speaking of books before bed, you want to have a wind down routine. So you want to turn off the gadgets. I am guilty. I am guilty as charged. And I am working with myself on a daily basis to not take this to the bed with me, to put it away from the bed, and pick up a book. Okay. When you read off of paper and you're not shining that light in your eyes, that also allows your nervous system to kind of down regulate and allows you to relax. This book is nice because she tells her story, her testimonial, which is amazing. But then she has these little 60-second prayers where they're just topical, and it's awesome. It's a really, really awesome book. Prayer for healing in your heart, prayer for wisdom, um, prayer to believe the Lord of the impossible. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so that's one thing. Now, um, let me see if there was anything else I wanted to mention. Deep breathing, we touched on that. There are infinitely many deep breathing, relaxing videos that you can just look up. If you can't focus yourself to be able to breathe, breathing, oxygenating your body is important, and it does help your nervous system to regulate. You want to prioritize your sleep. Sleep is a big thing. 7 to 9 hours. I know you feel like you can get away with 5, and you can until the day that you can't. It catches up. Mine is catching up with me right now as we speak. My Whoop has not been giving me good scores this last week, so I got to get it together. I was doing good. I was on a roll, and then you got back in town. I got this dog, and yeah, I'm down. I'm back down to like 5.5 hours, and that's not working out for me. So I'm gonna get it together, just as I encourage you to get it together. Um, Zone 2 exercise and gentle movement is great. Great for de-stressing, great for your nervous system. Taking a walk. Again, doesn't cost you a dime. Go outside, get out in nature, take a walk. If you can get out by some trees, you can touch a tree and that's going to ground your body. You can sit on a boulder rock and that's going to ground your body. So all of those things, making sure you're hydrated. Let me take a sip. Of course, I've got my creatine in here. Okay, so I think I touched on just about everything I wanted to touch on except for the supplements. I have the best adrenal supplement on the market. And the reason why I say it's the best is because it has all of the ingredients that the adrenals need to help replenish from all this stress. It's got the B vitamins, the C, the zinc, the chromium, potassium, citrus bioflavonoids, chlorella, adrenal glandular. That one is important. And then it's got adaptogens, the rhodiola. But what's amazing about this particular formula is that it is pre-digested with enzymes. That means it's already broken down. Your body doesn't have to do a lot of work to be able to use it. So it gets those nutrients. It can immediately absorb them and utilize them to help rebuild those adrenals and make you more stress resilient, to keep you out of that sympathetic dominance. I take this every single day, every day. Um, and then at night, there's two things that I take. So one of them is called Calm. This Calm is It's got some herbs and some nutrients in here that literally help your nervous system to relax. This was originally called REM sleep. And the reason why is because it helps to get you into that deep restorative sleep. I love this formula. I just take one at night. This actually stays on my nightstand. Both of these stay on my nightstand. But it's got the chamomile, the passiflora, the lemon balm, and hops. This is going to relax your nervous system. And then I take my Muscle RX. I take this for the magnesium. That's why I take it at night, because the magnesium also helps your nervous system to calm down. But this also has the branched chain amino acids and the glutamine and the creatine that I need for muscle mass. I want to prevent age-related sarcopenia. So these two I take it next. Don't need anything else with that. And then the adrenal I take in the day to help me with the stress. So those are some of my favorite things. Some of the ways to help your body deal with this pregnenolone steal. We don't want our hormones to suffer because of the effects of stress. You know, that's what we don't want. So we can fight back. And those are some of the ways. It's been a first episode of Thriving Thursday on YouTube. It's been great to be here with you and be able to share with you in some additional ways. One last thing I want to share, if I can get to it, let me see. I mentioned earlier sound therapy, and um, let me go here. I mentioned sound therapy, and I've got a program called Inner Voice. And I'm going to pull that up here. Okay. I've got a program called Inner Voice, and this is something that I also do in my practice. However, if you are interested in experiencing it, I will do some demo scans. And I'm going to show you just the basic version, but this is a sound therapy program designed to help you with some of the underlying emotions and stress that keep you stuck. Because until we deal with the emotions, and I know we all have them, until we deal with them, we just can't heal our bodies physically and we won't be able to thrive. So when you do this scan, it uses a 10-second voice sample. And basically, it's going to give you some information about what is stuck in your body. I'm going to go to this one. I like this one because the supportive color for this is magenta. And you see magenta all around me. Magenta comes up for me all the time. And I love this color. And obviously, I need this color. So magenta supports feelings about the future, grounding, like we were just talking about, calming, and encourages spiritual enlightenment. And you can see here that this particular emotional tone that may be out of balance in your voice also affects body parts. So sometimes you might be having a problem with taking a deep breath, or, you know, allergies or asthma or something like that. And it could be emotions that is underneath it. So the easy thing about this is that once you do this scan, it's going to give you a sound therapy program, and all you have to do is listen to it. That's what it sounds like. And that was the exception that I told you I would allow. You can listen to your sound therapy program while you're in restoration posture. Okay, well, thank you for joining me today for Thriving Thursday. My website is on the bottom of the screen. If you would like to have a one-on-one consultation with me, there's a contact form you can fill out on the website. You can find all of the links to my favorite things, including my OHS store where you can get your adrenal and including the earthing.com where you can get any of the indoor grounding tools. All of my favorite things. There's a lot of free stuff on there. So check it out, and make sure you like, subscribe, and join. There's nothing to join. Like and subscribe because this channel is new and I got to get it going. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.